Hi friends, you all are again welcome here. Now again we are going to continue about the power of music in everyday's life. As I told you in my previous video that I had read several comments as well as I got several messages from my internet sources as well as my offline persons. They are very near to me or they are very dear to me. They told me, sir, why did I learn music? So many things I left in a previous part of the videos, but I am going to start the same thing from there. What happened that at the age of 13 and 14, when I left my village, I started doing the work and doing job in several other sectors where I was below 18 years. I was not allowed to do the work in any legal company, but I was secretly called there by the supervisors, by the seniors there, and whenever there was any inspection, I had to hide myself under any basement or somewhere else. These were the critical days I saw myself. I used to see in the company and offices that the person whose salary was very low had to work more than the person whose salary was very high. All these conditions I did not bear properly in these places. And I was not very happy, though many of the seniors, I think many of the girls, they were senior to me, many of the boys, they were senior to me, and there were the rarely boys, they were similar to my age. These boys and girls had to come and do the work in the factories and the offices. They were not much educated, but somehow they wanted to do the work for the sake of the family progression and somehow want to bring their livelihood on the comfortableness. This world and this scene, I could not bear myself there, and I used to just listen to music whenever I used to come at home. Now the question rises, why needed I to just only worry for that? There were the several persons there, so why did I just think for that? Actually, when I saw the condition, the plight, because I was never aware of such condition of the human being, because I know that every human being is the subject of decay, and once upon a time I read in the literature books and from other sources. But when I saw the condition of the human being at such places, in the marketplace, in such companies, factories, under some supervisors, I saw that the human being is nothing if she doesn't have some proper progression and proper development in his or her life. So every day, since my childhood, I was also good. I used to have the singing classes at my high school there. I used to sing the song, and many of my dearest one, they loved my songs. And I was also deciding to have the full-time singing classes when I came here in Noida, and I was at the age of, I think, 16, or I think rarely 16, not 15, 16 or 17, yes, 16, 17 years old. I had some relatives in Delhi. That time I asked them for the music classes, for the proper training that time. But no one heeded me. They were completely ignored my question, and they told me that somehow everyone manages the life and you need to do the same. I kept on doing what I was doing, and I thought that it would be very difficult for me to depend on others to do something. There was not any scheme through the government or the private sectors that can help me for the proper training from the music classes. So what happened that music became one of my hobbies in everyday's life. The song I used to listen to, I used to have in the memory, and for a long time. Still, I am today I am not able to forget any one of the song I used to listen to them, even 20 years ago or 15 years ago. I thoroughly had the memorization of all the lyrics of all these songs. It not only keep away my stress, my problem, my confusion away from me, but also it worked as a meditative medicine in my life. Many of my nearest and dearest ones, they used to tell me that I was not going on the right path, because still in our locality or the place or the rural areas from where I belong to, music, dance and such practices are not considered on the high level. Only those persons are considered high level in the society or in the family or in the village who is singing, who is dancing, and who is at the good position. But it is unfortunate in the society. Society doesn't think that a child can't bear a child within 3 months or 4 months. Whoever became singers in the past, they were the child like us, and they became man, woman later, girls and boys later, and they got the proper training from different sources. But the rural areas, still there was a taboo that to be an IPS officers, IS officer, and to be the officers at the high grade level, if you have the government service in any sector, then it is better than the other jobs in everyday's life. Unfortunately, our places or the rural areas have the highest job position in the government sector in comparison to the other states in India. Still, there is so much starvation, there is so much poverty, and there is so much irregularities of many kinds of things. The dysfunctional development that is going on in the area is not under the control of the educated ones there. Still, there is the corruption, there is the bad politics, and the educated ones are wandering here and there for the search of the job. They don't have the proper job either in the private sector or the government sector. What happens that after wandering several places, they again feel that why are they graduate and why they are postgraduate. Some of them are successful, but many of them are still jobless. They are even not successful in the private sector. I see all these conditions there. Whoever has passed the civil services examination or any officer grade examination, they themselves develop there. They have to somehow leave their states and they settle in some other parts of the country. And they have to manage according to the politics and the level of the government of India or the state government or the ministers of the country. I saw that the condition was very critical in those days, and I think that it doesn't matter that whether I go professionally in the music sector, but I would learn something else for the meditation purpose and to keep away all such problems from my life. When I became a little bit financially strong in 2007 and 2008, because 6 years and 7 years was the from 2001 to 2007 was the timeline. That time I struggled a lot. 2007 was one of the critical, saddest and cruelest year in my life. It was the year when I was completely under pressure, under distressfulness, under family pressure, under the society pressure, and there was the stigma on me, and this stigmatization just also brought me on the path of the music intrinsically. When I was in the village or when I was in any area, people used to ask me that what have you studied. And not only most of them did not used to ask me what is the education, what is the qualification. Only many of them asked me, what do you do? What do you do? What is the profession? What are you doing presently? It means the people's and person's attitude is only towards to ask that how much do you earn in everyday's life? What did you do after the proper education? Though you have the greatest degrees, certificate degrees and diplomas in everyday's life, but how much are you successful? The people have still the same taboos and stereotypical nature even in the village. Whenever you go to the village, the people have the same perspective and they just have the same look at you. Similarly, if everyone has the same nature, then I think that the world will change forever. We all of us know that money is an intrinsic or vital part of our life. Without money, we can't survive ourselves in everyday's life. It has become, in comparison, the same important things we use in everyday's life. Even nowadays, water is purchased with the help of money. Even what will happen in future, that the most difficult and the most dearest thing you would purchase from the market after several years would be the pure air as well as water. Now what happened that even in the rural areas and even in city area, whenever I met some of my friends, they had the singing skills in those days. We used to sing in these places. What happened to that? The people, they were near to me. They used to only tell me, you should go to the Indian Idol, you should go to Mumbai, you should go to that place, you should go to that place. And still this stereotypical condition is prevalent in the society. If any child dances, if any child sings, if any person sings, if any person dances very well, then someone is very ahead in suggesting or in just giving the proper information that your child should be sent there, your child should start from here, your child has a good singing skills or the dancing skill and she should be sent there. Speaking is easy. Speaking is easier than doing. The more you speak, speaking doesn't have any cost. It doesn't have any expenditure. But if you just go after catching someone's finger and you just lead to someone to the destination, then you are known that you have come as a prophet on the earth. I would just tell you several stories of my life. Somehow I faced and encountered in my life despite my higher education, and how did I encounter all these things. And music always saved me in such critical conditions. Because as I mentioned in the previous part of the video, that one of my students told me that you should not have learnt music, you should have paid your complete concentration over your higher education for becoming IAS and IPS officers, PCS officers, and there are several banking, railway sectors and other officers in India. But I also told in that video that if I had not music, if I had not learned music, if I had not music and the music was not instilled in me, then I could not even pass out 10+2 classes or graduation classes. I was so much under depression, under so much family critical condition, as well as the I saw the world with the view of the melancholic state, where I saw the children, women, men, girls and boys, their condition in these companies or offices sectors were not completely comfortable. Somehow you can say, or overall you can say, that whatever I did not do and whatever time I spent on music, it became the nectar of my life, and it became the powerful force for the meditation. And you should have the good things, you should try to inculcate good things, good manners in your life, and learning music, singing, or if you play any musical instrument, it will just soothe you. It will keep away from from the negative thoughts of everyday's life. Many of the persons near you, they would be talking negatively, and most of the time what happens that they try to just discourage you, demotivate you, and sometimes what do? They falsely appreciate you. There is the fictitious appreciation or commendation in everyday's life. What happens that a person who is benefactor in your life, who wants to see your development, who wants to see your progress in your life, would not only speak to you, she would also help you in the need of her. Now the question rises, if I learned music, then why I did not apply it in our everyday's life? Because the music sector, there are several persons, they are learning music, there are several singers in India, they don't have the job, they don't have the work there. And nowadays the music is not like earlier music, they are the light music, and I don't like so much the light music, but sometimes I have to sing whenever my loved ones or dearest ones, they tell me, sir, you need to just sing it once. I like this song. For that I have to practice a lot, because the songs I practiced myself and listened to were completely based on some inspiration, on some devotion, on some national related issues. And these songs used to give me a new boost for the success in the life. So if you want to stay away from the negative people, you must learn music. If you are alone, you are living somewhere in a secluded place, it doesn't mean that you are away from the society and you are just treated some bizarre or some strange or eccentric boy or girl. Actually, you are away from such persons in society because you have seen that the society is not according to you, or the persons is not according to you. But whenever there is the function, there is something that is going on in society, you must participate. Whenever there is the pain and pleasure that is going on in society, you must participate in it. But if you are a student of music, you need to also learn music somewhere else. Let the people speak. Let the people have their own thought about your career. Okay, if you are passionate for the music, you should just develop it in your blood. I expect it will help you a lot. It will just make your memory level to the double degree, because it works for the meditation. Whenever you sing heartily, whenever you have the goddess Saraswati, it is very near to you, it will bring those lost memories on the correctfulness, and there you can start those retrospective things you forgot. You can again bring them back in your memory. You can again speak, you can again converse, you can again write, and you can again pass out in the exam. Even if the condition of my life sometimes was so much critical that I was not even to be alive, and I did not think that I could be alive for a single day. The music saved me in my life there. The persons who have grown up with me, many of my classmates, they got the job. Many of my classmates, they are successful in government or private sectors. But it does not mean that everyone is successful despite the higher education. And I think that few of my classmates or the well-acquainted person, they are in the sector of music. In the sphere of music, if you want to be successful, you need to have the natural good voice. If you want to be a singer, if you want to sing, then you need to have the good, nice voice, just not like the nightingale, but you should have the sweet voice, and you should try to just learn. If you don't have the good voice, still you have the passion to sing something, then you need to also practice at least half an hour or 1 hour. But you should not quit your education or your proper study. You need to just continue your education. You should never leave your education. I kept on learning music, but I never left my higher education. I thought at first that I should do PhD in music, but later I thought that if there are several competitions even in this field, and competition is everywhere found, had I not been successful, I would have to face several criticisms from the family members and even from my life, because whomsoever I have seen so far, they were successful in the sector of the education, business, etc. They were not successful in music sector. So I did not have the conducive environment in the sector of the music since my childhood. And this is why I regulated music with my education. So this is the importance of music. We should never think that music is an inferior thing in my life. If someone sings and someone has the passion to sing, then it is the right way to choose or to select out in his or her life. But if you have, God has provided you the good voice, vocal cord, and you have the good deep throat or deep powerful voice, you need to sing those songs. Those songs can bring some changes in the society, in someone's mind, and even the child would not have the negative impact. If you are a singer, it does not mean that you should sing anything that would completely malign the society, and the societies or the children and modern children would have the negative impact. You should try to develop and sing those songs which can bring some harmony, some inspiration, or some refreshness in the society, in you as well as your friends or nearest or dearest ones. So I think that it is enough for today, and in the next part of the videos I will tell you about rags and something else, but not too much. Whatever and I know about that, I would just tell you. So thank you so much. By then, take care of yourself.